Hey, everybody. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
It is a beautiful day, too. Boy, we have been busy. Trying to get ready for tomorrow and just trying to get ready for Joel and just trying to do it all. And it's been quite the juggling act, but it's also been nice. I've had a lot of help. Right now as B and I sit here, there are at least two community member couples who are down at the community building cleaning and, doing things. I don't know what they're all doing, but whatever that is they're doing. In an effort to help us get ready for tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow,
and we are grateful.
Yeah, we are grateful. So tonight's live will be a little bit different, probably shorter. I did not do a good news section of live tonight, mainly because we're just swamped trying to get done. And it typically takes me, 3 or 4 hours to do those. So we just didn't do it tonight. So we're going to talk about the homestead. We're going to talk about the events, the stuff we got going. I hope you guys, aren't too upset or show me some mercy right here, because I am just getting my butt kicked. Just to say it plainly. But anyways, we'll go through all of that stuff, maybe talk about community a little bit, maybe talk about Joel and talk about some of the things we've got going on. I've had some new things come up on that, so we'll do that. But first, and more importantly than any of it, is I want to make sure I get my hellos in. It was funny, the Lazy Loper and Squatchy jumped in. Now I have to just say Squatchy was first. He was more on the ball, and Lazy Loper was clearly on vacation. But welcome in, both of them.
It was the same second. They were there the same second. Probably because he's taller. His signal got there first.
You're just monkey tonight. Good. I like that. I like that. You go, girl.
I've had caffeine.
Terminator, welcome in. Carrie Davis, good to see you. Farm Ranch Homestead said finally made it for a live on time, probably because it's raining. Yeah, I wish the rain would just stop for a minute. Redneck, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. The greatest name on the internet.
Half Bubble Off Club
is in the house. One step closer. How are you, my friend? Jane, good evening back at you. Gregory, good to see you. See here, hey, Eagle Lover, Texas. How are you? No live is complete without a Pack Rat's in the house tonight. The famous Life with Mike and Jen is in the house. Probably Jen. We'll see you guys soon, which is super, super exciting.
Not soon enough.
AK Amber, how are you? Welcome in. Distraught Moth, good to see you. I'm going to see you soon.
Now that I know who that is.
Yeah, you didn't know that before?
No.
Oh yeah. So for
no, they were forced to tell who they were.
Yeah. So for anybody who wants to know, Distraught Moth, who's in here, is the designated community cameraman. That's right. Very, very important. I think I said hello, Kent. If I didn't, Kent, good evening to you. Aljo, welcome in. And Barbara, good to see you. Aljo says, this is really cool. Says, hello, everyone. Aljo and Barbara. Hey, Tag, last week you called Barbara my far superior better half. She wants to know how you knew. Well, I knew Barbara because Aljo told me. I mean, we've been chit-chatting on the live a long time, and he's made it very, very clear that he's not, worthy and married up. So being the trustworthy, manly man, Aljo, I guess I took his word for it. Mary Michelle, welcome in. Ricky Dicky Duda Grimes, welcome in. Hello to you. Paradise Stanley and Dana Green are in the house. Good evening. American Roots, good to see you. The Rickster, what's up, buddy? Skane's Girls here. Good to see you. Can Squatch, welcome in. Skane's Girl says, hey, y'all, 41 in here and 8 thumbs up. Stop slacking, people. I like it when you guys ask for those things because I'm kind of weird about that, and I don't. So, hey, Zeus, good evening to you. Leila Eubank, welcome in as well. I think I'm caught up at least for now. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, babe, what Songs of Joy, welcome into you as well. Go ahead, babe. Sorry.
Do you want to just go through the slides and then what we don't go through
you'll add into them?
Yeah, because I don't know what you've got slides for. And we lead the same, like our lives do cross. So sometimes my things are the same things as your things. And so our things are the same things.
Stan Guthrie, welcome in. B is very sparky today.
No.
Just so you know. You're not sparky?
No.
Oh. Are you mellow?
Yes.
Are you calm? Okay. Let's go do that here real quick. Get back to the beginning. So let's start with tomorrow. As you guys know, we have a big day planned for tomorrow. I have no idea how many people are coming.
We do not.
Because there's all kinds of local people that I don't know real well, other homesteads and stuff that have been invited, and some other people in that we have visitors coming in.
Yes.
Right. One of the dictators from the book club calendar will be here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep. I'm excited to show her.
Yep.
Her calendar month. I actually laid it out on her bed
so
that she can see it as soon as she gets here. Yep. I don't want to forget.
Yep. So let's see here. We'll do a potluck. I know there's been a lot of scrambling about who's going to bring what, and
we don't know.
It's fun for me because the truth is it doesn't matter. But you know, if 3 people bring chili, then we have 3 times the chili. Who cares?
So I was like, I'm going to make chili. And then I saw on our text thread that somebody said, I'm going to make chili. And then I was like, somebody's going to make chili. And then I call one of the community members and I said, can we figure out who's bringing what? Because I was going to make chili and somebody else is going to make chili. And she goes, I'm going to make chili. And I was like, great. Now 3 people are going to make chili. And she goes, I said, somebody put on the message that they're going to make chili. And she said, I put on the message that I'm going to make chili. And I was like, okay, so then maybe it's just the 2 of us that are making chili. And then I was like, okay, just you make the chili. I'll do something else. And then, and he's like, why does it matter? Why can't 3 people make chili? And I'm like, because then there's going to be like all like chili. And then he's like, why does it matter? They're going to be different. And I'm like, because there's going to be like 3 different or 4 different, you don't know. There's going to be the same things. And he's like, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So I am not going to make chili.
Because apparently it matters.
Well, because you told me it didn't matter afterwards. So I'm going to.
Have you cooked any of it yet?
I made something different.
It's already made?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. It's marinating. So anyway, it will be a good meal. It always is a good meal. People bring like not just one thing usually, you know. We usually have the tables are full of food, and not everything gets eaten, but a lot of it gets eaten.
Yeah, which is good, right?
Yeah.
Hey Matt, how are you, bud? Welcome in.
So anyway, there's going to be a lot of food, and we're going to have like lunch and dinner here. So there's going to be a lot of food. Yeah.
Yeah. It has been
a bonfire.
A huge bonfire. I'll show a picture of it here after a little bit.
Of the bonfire?
Yeah. So the herbs seed starting. Do you have any idea what's going on with that?
Yeah, several people have brought dirt, and they're supposed to bring pots to plant in, and we're going to get together and plant seeds in our pots, and then we're going to take them home and we're going to grow them, and we're going to then plant them into whatever we want to then plant them in. But at least we're going to get together and we're going to do it together and have fellowship.
So why can't we have chili together?
You can all have some of her chili. It will be grand.
You know, I don't want to offend anybody, but at the end of the day, you girls are amazing creatures. But, you know, I think my dad said it best.
I don't think you should say that.
Yeah, when he said, it's not your job to understand them. They're born weird and it only gets worse. And
okay, that's probably
I wasn't going to say the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but that one's fine, right?
Yes.
Hey, Instigator, welcome in. Instigator says, now how do you tell a Baptist or a Methodist is waking up the driveway?
Walking.
Oh my goodness, guys, it's been a long day.
They're
Walking up there.
Carrying a casserole. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, then what's the Brooder comparison thing? Let's talk about that.
So we are doing a Brooder presentation. People are bringing their brooders or pictures of their brooders. My brooder currently has babies in it, so we will
Pick it up with the skid loader and take it down there.
It's on wheels, so I'm going to wheel it out the door and then wheel it over to the rocks, and then I guess you're going to pick it up with the skid loader and drive my babies over there. I'm going to leave the lids on, or so I have a lid that closes down over the brooder, but I'm going to lift it up and put a grate over it so that people aren't touching my babies. I don't want any injuries.
Packrat says there's a certain tone Tag gets when he's about to get in trouble from what he's going to say next. Yeah, there's something about that. Dana says, laugh out loud. I think that works both ways. They just get weirder. Something. Yeah. One Step Closer says, ours is not wonder why. Ours is but to do and die. Yeah. Let's see here. And Matt says, my brooders are storage totes until I get a small coop refurbished for that purpose. Yeah, Bee's brooder.
I've used totes too.
Yeah.
When my overflow.
Yeah. Bee's brooder is very popular with people who know it. I custom made it for her and, put a window in it so she could see and, made it's basically it's all I did was sandwiched 2 pieces of OSB around a piece of 1.5-inch foam, cut those panels out.
Did you glue it in there?
Oh yeah, they're glued together. And put it on wheels, basically built a lid for it. I don't think it's all that special, but
is the lid is even insulated?
It's all insulated, everything is insulated.
And then there's a lip down over it, so when it closes down tight.
That's the goal, right?
Well, yeah, but okay. I mean, the brooder that you bought me from Chamuka,
it's all open.
Yeah, it's plastic and it's all open, so it has a heater in it, yes, but using the heater that comes with it on an off-grid system, 2 heaters, was significant. We got the heat plates that are only 12 watts. Yeah, 12 watts. And if you put one of those in there and close the lid down, he took a wall thermometer and he bent it in a 90-degree and screwed it right where the window is. So it looks like a diving board for the birds, but you can see, if you look in the window, you can see the temperature of what it is in there. So, and then on the window, because it's inset, he took a piece of 1-inch foam board. Is that what that's called?
No, well, it's 1.5-inch foam. Yeah.
And you cut the perfect size for the window and made holes in it and made a loop for a handle, and I can shove this like a plug over the window, and it locks it in. So in the wintertime, late winter, early spring, when I tried to brood them in the room that they're in, it was 40-50 degrees, and so I could plug it all in, close the lid, plug the window portion, and it was 90 in there.
You forgot to mention it's got lights.
Oh yeah, there's a bar light. So when you turn it on, first of all, they scatter because it scares them, but then they're oh hey, it's California in there. It's 90 degrees. It's full sun. It comes on and goes off just like the sun. So I am trying to train them to go to sleep at night, get up, do your thing. Yep.
We have a guest who has arrived.
Hello.
Yep. And Miss Silver Lining's going to be hanging out with us a little bit. And I don't know if you guys know this. If you ever see her, ask her why her favorite founding father is Hamilton.
Oh, yeah.
Would you agree?
I just heard that.
Hey, Tina, welcome in. How are you? Okay, so we're going to go from a brooder comparison presentation, spring plant swap and barter count.
So about the spring plants, I planted quite a few extras
of everything.
And then, so some of them aren't coming up, and it's pretty hard to barter dirt with a promise of something coming up. And then on the other things that are coming up, it's not time to plant them outside. So I don't know what I have extra because I haven't planted my stuff. So he's like, well, then just go plant your stuff. And I'm like, no, it's not time for that. So it's hard to, I really don't have a lot.
Yeah,
I wanted to have a lot.
Yeah,
I
okay.
planted a lot, but I don't really have a lot.
Yeah.
My intentions did not fruition.
Okay. So let me interpret. B wants to plant them all. That's the real story.
No.
Yes.
No.
I speak B better than B speaks B.
You know what? I didn't even realize that was in my heart until you said it. No, I'm serious. It's hard to give somebody like dirt and go, this might grow and I hope it grows. Right? I feel like it's pretty hard to do that. Unless like
B wants to plant them all.
That's not necessarily true. I said not necessarily.
Did you say she used the word necessarily?
Necessarily.
Yeah. Hey, Tamber Smith, welcome in. Real life trad wife, welcome in. She says she'd trust you.
Yeah. There is a seed in there, I promise.
And Jen says, this girl has nothing started. Yeah, but you've kind of had your hands full. Hey, look at that. Eagle Over Texas is already harvesting tomatoes. We don't even have them in the ground yet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, let's see here. Real life trad wife says, we potted some elderberries, some mint, and some chives. And then our good friend, Conserve Friends in the house. Welcome. Hey, David. How are you? David Strom's in the house. Good to see you. Okay, so anything else you want to talk about the plant swap or the barter town?
Social time. Oh, plant swap. I mean, I don't know. Barter town. Again, I collect all this stuff because I want to keep it. I don't want to collect it because I want to get rid of it.
Yeah, but you upgrade and you go from, it's just like the duck duplex. But if it's just you upgrade and then
But the duck duplex, I can separate babies and I can keep them like I could use it for several things, and I can use it.
Did you guys know if B did not have me in her life, she would be a hoarder?
I'm teetering on that now.
Yeah. Well, you got me in your life, so you'll never totally get there.
Right, because
I get angry,
yelling.
so yeah. Yeah. So there's some of that, but I would like to. Now I got to get it, of course, past the Mongolian slave lord, but a lot of the leftover building supplies, like I have boxes of rock and crates of this and crates of that are left over from jobs that I've done.
There are electrical supplies up the wazoo.
Yeah. They just put them on a trailer, pull into my shop, clean out my shop, the stuff that I've been staring at for 6 years and haven't touched, and give another homestead a chance to, maybe they would need them to, as part of their journey. I really like that idea.
Yeah.
That's
actually a really good idea.
We can stare at them forever.
Yeah.
You got to find a way to kind of, keep it corralled too, and so it's a little bit of give and take. And I really encourage you to do more giving than you do taking. And what them plants, someone will benefit from them a lot.
If they grow.
They will grow. Yeah, let's see here. Because her friend says, with all that you have in the yard, you call her a hoarder.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, but hold on a second.
We can move on. What is the next one?
It's not that. So I have pallets of stuff stacked on a fence line. We call it Sanford Row here around here, and it drives me crazy. Yeah, she waved at me. But it's not my living space. And when I go to bed or we'll go to the kitchen or whatever it is, I like it to be tidy. Yeah,
my stuff.
Yeah. Gary Davis says, Tag is a honorable hoarder. Yeah. Yeah. David says, I have to consistently ask myself if I would have known if it was missing. See, I think that's a great.
Oh, David.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Problem is B's kind of particular, so she probably would notice at least a lot more.
Eventually, I mean, it took us a year and a half to realize the 21-foot extension ladder was gone.
Northern Girl Hobby says, holy crap, we are all on the same page for hoarding for the past 6 years. Good grief, I'm done. It's time to declutter and organize more. It's taxing the soul and peace. I agree 100%. It actually kind of gives me anxiety a little bit. I get stressed out about it sometimes, and then I'll go on these rampages. I'm sure you guys do that too. You're like, all right, I'm cleaning this area's got to stop. And, like my Sanford Row, I've taken it completely out, restacked it, put it on pallets and stuck it back in on Sanford Row many a times. And I don't know if it does any good, but Skane's girl says, I would know when I went to use it. Laugh out loud.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. Northern Girl Hobbies and me, we're on the same page. Total anxiety. Yes. And there just comes a time where you got to just say, okay, I haven't used it. I'll give you guys an example. I have some shop lights in my shop, brand new in the box. They've been sitting in the box for 5 years.
I know what shop lights you're talking about. Yep.
It just takes up space, But anyway, Northern Girl Hobbies, I'm on the same page. You look there, silver lining right there. We were talking about you and your favorite founding father earlier. You'll have to go back and watch. It was pretty cool. Let's see. Hey, Palmetto Paratrooper. What's up? Good to see you. Skane's girl says it's sucking the life out of me while sorting and packing. Yeah, it's just a lot. I know it's a lot. It's a lot for me too. And B's better at it than I am. But One Step Closer says, my wife gets angry at me when I get rid of something that hasn't been used in years. Yeah, B does too. Yeah. Gregory says, I know that it was over here somewhere. You're right.
Yes, it was.
Right. Hey, Will Be Cool. Welcome on. Good to see you. Okay, so we're gonna do a barter count. I've got ideas of what I'd like to throw on there. I've got plenty of stuff. I've got excess solar stuff. I've got inverters and
it's a lot.
There's lots of stuff that we stare at. But so anyway, I got to do that in the morning so that I'm up to speed with that. And so we'll get that done. That'll be pretty cool. Social time. This is kind of the biggest really thing for me coming up. As our community works hard and
all the time.
And it's everybody's 100 miles an hour trying to get, a little bit freer, trying to get a little more infrastructure in, trying to keep up, trying to keep enough money coming through the front door that you can afford to do the things that you want to do, and so you got, all of that going on, and the pressure is always on. When it comes to actually doing something like getting in the dirt, planting, building barns, building fences, firewood, man, our community is square. We can get a lot done. Our skill set's strong, all of those kind of things. But one of the things we don't do well is just have fun. And what I mean by that is just hang out.
Yeah.
We don't do a lot of, hey, let's all just get together and roast a pig and, light some fireworks off. We're not great at that. So we're trying to get better at that. I'm really excited for tomorrow of a chance just to hang out and not be serious, and just enjoy the day. I think we really need it. Let me see here. Palmetto Paratrooper says, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't throw much away either. I even take the screws and bolts out of things before I throw them out.
Oh my goodness.
I do it too. It depends on what it is. Like I probably would.
I did not know that about you.
Yes. Yes. Especially if it's a valuable one. So like I probably wouldn't remove a drywall screw and save it.
Probably not.
I wouldn't. But a set of bolts, that are this long that I could totally use for something else. Yeah, I do that. I absolutely do that. Let's see here. Palmetto says, I once made a raised bed out of a box spring instead of taking it to the dump.
Oh,
that's you.
Man, that'd be kind of cool.
That's
actually. You have any pictures of that?
No, please don't send them. We had 6 pop-up canopies. That's too many. Kept 2. Good for you. Yeah.
Purged.
Yeah. Packrat says the strategic hardware drift, one less trip to town. I know. And that's the thing with all that stuff, But you guys know, like the round rock that's on my fireplace in the bedroom or behind the wood burning stove in the bedroom. I'm not going to use it anywhere else. I got 4 boxes left over.
Yeah.
Someone can use it behind something somewhere.
Somebody measured really bad.
Really
bad.
Someone keeps changing the plan.
No.
Yeah, I measured perfectly fine.
We got 4 boxes. That's what I know.
So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. Also, we're going to meet some new homesteads. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes.
I like meeting new people,
Absolutely.
which is super, super cool. What else is there? Oh, another really good thing that's going to go on here that I'm very excited about is I get to test all my systems. So I've got, and I'll show you guys some pictures, but we got the propane in, we have hot water, we have running water, the propane's in for the stove. We actually cooked cookies on it tonight for the first time. I got a cookie out of the stove in the community building tonight. And so I know everything works because again, I've tested it all, but it's going to be running all simultaneously and a heavier load than me just testing it a little here and there. So I think that'll be cool to be able to test my systems a little bit. I got 12 days or whatever it is after that before Joel gets here. So that'll give me plenty of time to fix, anything if I needed to, scramble for, some reason.
Yeah. That back at that stove, that oven is so deep. It was so hard to like crawl into that stove without putting my weight on the door. Like when I
was cleaning it.
Yeah. And when you when I got down there and I opened the oven, because it had turned, I think it's because it had turned on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% certain, but I think that, so when I cleaned the whole oven and wiped it all down, and the inside is black. And so I wiped it all down, looked black. Well, I cooked those cookies, or when you tested it the other night, there's like white around like the bracket, and then like
because you didn't wipe down the oven cleaner.
So I think that it's the oven cleaner inside of the oven that I did it. Well, I think that it turned white when you baked it, actually. Don't be mean. So anyway.
Hey, Gypsy 19, the king himself, Jeff, Juicy, Hefty, Lefty, Mud Dauber, Amazon Slick is in the house tonight. And also want to say hello to Betsy De La Rosa. Good to see you.
Yes.
Jen wants to know, can it fit a full sheet pan?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I have this giant pan that's to make buns, I think. And this pan is huge. I'm going to take it down there and see if I can fit it in there. Like if that fits in there, anything will fit in there. Anyway, I couldn't reach the back of the stove without crawling in the stove.
Yep. Jane, welcome in. I'm just keeping up the names.
Yes.
You can keep going. I just want to make sure I don't, because if I let it get too far, I'll lose it.
Right.
So.
Yeah. But anyway, got the stove all cleaned out. It looks great.
So again, social time's my exciting thing. Then we're gonna do a big old bonfire. I'll show you guys a picture. We've had recently around here a bunch of rain. So this is looking out from the community building. How wonderful is that? You're trying to have a whole bunch of people, over. But you can see that pile of wood in the back. That's gonna be our bonfire that we're gonna light tomorrow, as long as there's not big winds of any kind. So that ought to be pretty cool. I'm hoping it dries out a little bit, because right now it is mud. And that's one of the hard parts, like when you're building, guys, is that you get this raw dirt and then the rain comes, and it's, it's a challenge until you can get grass planted and until you can do those kinds of things. I love the bonfire stuff like this because it's kind of like dual purpose. This brush, I needed to get picked up. It needed to get burned off. It needed to do all of those things.
The majority of it is brush.
The majority of it's brush.
There's like 2x4s and stuff in there.
Yeah.
So you put wood building materials also in this.
Yeah, there's a couple sheets of OSB. There's some just scrap 2x4 and stuff like that. But nothing major.
How tall would you say this pile is? Because it looks tiny right there.
It's taller than me. I mean, and I'm a tall guy. So.
And how wide would you say that is?
Oh goodness, 30 feet. So 30 feet wide and taller than me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to make a absolute warm fire. Skanes Girl says, I will have to live vicariously through the videos. I know you'll take that. Yep, I'll shoot lots of video on it, and we're hoping to have a good time. And
for tomorrow, you're doing a video?
Sure. It's all of us getting together, and I'm sure people would like to see it, So, Yeah. Matt says that's going to make a warm fire. Yeah, it's going to make a warm fire, but I get rid of it, which is
It will be
excellent.
better without it there. That's for sure.
Yeah. Which will be excellent. You know, it's crazy. We're sitting here talking up here on the live and I hear 2 different skid loaders running right now.
Yes.
You know,
They're moving. Well, if they're out and out driving around, then it can't be that muddy over there then.
well, the skid loaders aren't going to get stuck. They just tear the ground up. They don't get stuck.
Oh, right.
Right. So that's not a big deal at all.
They just bring the dirt with it.
Yeah.
Mud.
Yep. So this is good stuff. Again, I'll report back to you guys on how it all went. It's going to go great. I'm looking forward to relaxing. I'm looking forward to hanging out with my friends, and you know, I love them all, and I love them all for different reasons. You know, like, you know, I try to love them for the things that, you know, that I learn from them, and the things that they're great at, and the things that make them exceptional. And everybody's exceptional for something, right?
Absolutely.
If you can, you know, take the time to find it and you know, get out of your own way. I think you can find it. And so anyway, I'm looking forward to all of that. It'll be fun. I think, again, to do something more of a playtime thing, you know, instead of, again, it's always work.
It is always work.
You know, always. And that's okay. I don't mind working, but, you know, the beautiful Luess Wesley is in the house. She says, finally made an MB. Do you have any dill up? I scanned Topeka today for a recipe, but was unsuccessful. Do you have any dill up in the food forest or anywhere?
I had just a few sprigs, like not much. And I've planted it in like 4 or 5 different. I started it in pots because if I just put it out in the yard, I feel like I'm going to lose it. They're very delicate, I think. You remember the dill that I planted at the other house, the blue house on the side by the air conditioner? That came up every year by itself, but it got like, after 4 years, it started to get like thick enough to where I could actually like see it and like do something with it.
Yeah.
It took years before it got like that.
Yeah. Palmento says 2.5 years ago when I moved here, I cleared a lot of trees and limbed a lot. I didn't fell, but instead of burning it, I piled it along the road frontage and let it decay. It was 15 feet. Now it's 5 feet high. Yeah, well, you're making earth, right?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Palmetto says, I bet the soil underneath it's amazing. I bet it is absolutely amazing. Hey, Ricky Dicky Doodah says that's going to be an absolutely massive fire. Yes, it is. And I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm just looking forward to sitting on a picnic bench and just sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't sit much.
Yeah, we don't sit much. All
because
right.
there's too much to do.
Yep. So we're excited. Again, I'll keep you guys in the loop, and we'll get a video out at some point. So the moth is in here somewhere, and
you're up.
And you're up. I hope you're here early. I got instructions.
Uh-oh. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. Okay. You got anything else on that?
No, I was gonna, because I had put on my list events tomorrow, tomorrow's event, you know, all the stuff we just talked about. So that's what I'm glad that since you had pictures that we were able to just do it that way.
Yeah, Jen wants to know who's on fire trailer duty. So what I'll do is what I'll do is I'll pull the UTV with the water tank down there. But the good news is this pile, you guys can't see it because of the pond, but the pond's actually on 3 sides of it. So it goes up both sides. There's really nowhere for the fire to go.
Except over the pond.
Or into the community.
Or the other way.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll have to be careful, but it should be pretty easy. Again, if it gets to be where it's, you know, windy, I won't light it. But I'm hoping we can get it lit. And Burning Free Man Festival. Yeah, our own version of Burning Man, huh? Yeah, Redneck says he would like to start the bonfire with a dragon's breath. I think that would be a great idea, and I'd love to sit and watch it. So that is an invitation, Redneck, just so you know. So there's no, you know, confusion in it. That's an invitation. All right. So 12 days later, Joel Salatin comes. I know you guys know this, but I got some things to point out to you guys. So
12 days? Oh
12 days, yep. And you guys know what's going on with the schools and all that. And that's been a really empowering experience for me. And I'm honored I get to play a role in it and be there at all, you know, for it. The local newspaper reached out and they want to do a full, story on it. We
Like
also
an article thing.
an article on it, yeah,
In the newspaper.
in the newspaper. There's an additional school not very far from here who was communicating with another one of our community members and had made the comment that, well, if they can do it, right? And it's that one.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
to grow the food.
Yeah, they have some land.
Cool.
You don't know what happens when you plant that seed.
Yeah.
If you plant it and you water it and you just have faith and you just drive into it and you work hard, you're not going to get them all, but you're going to get some of them.
Yeah, let's get the crap food out of the school.
Yeah, and if we can play a role in our kids eating healthier, I mean, you want to talk about
and then learning the stuff too. I mean, not just eating it, right?
100%.
They're teaching them how to get the food.
Yes, and this particular school wants the kids to do all of the work, obviously, and go out and tend to the crops and tend to the animals and all that, and go through the whole process. So it is educational, but guys, this is sustainability. Sustainability is not, I got a solar system, because just us as human beings aren't sustainable. We're all going to die. We're going to spend whatever time we've got on this earth, and then, but how did we spend that time? If we truly want to be sustainable, and if we want a community that's going to be sustainable, we have to think big picture. We got to get out of our own way, quit worrying about us, and start and spend our time focused on how do we truly achieve that goal. We're not ever going to get there if we worry, if we play this, play the small game. We got to play the big game. And I'm again, just super blessed. If you guys see that on the bottom of the slide there, it says $40 general admission, $20 for Cobra families. We've had enough donations. We've now cut those numbers in half. I know I told you that. And if we can find a way, I'll get it to zero. That would be great.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, we're working on it. So, because that would even be better. But,
then all kids are free.
Yeah, and all kids are free, no matter what school district they come from or where they're from.
Or homeschooled.
Or whatever it is.
18 and under.
Makes no difference. Yep. And if we can reach the kids, then maybe somehow we can actually be sustainable. And I'm very excited about this.
Yeah.
I've always told people that I was kind of anti-homeschooling, not because I have a problem with homeschooling. I actually think it's superior schooling. I just think that then we only are saving our own kids.
Yeah.
And, then that number dwindles over time. And so if we can figure out a way to save more of them and really get after the youth and show them and help them and, be truth speakers, if we can do that, well, I think we can make some ground.
And I think that too, like you said, that they want the kids to do the work. Mm. And it's amazing when you say it like that, that sounds like, oh gosh, that's horrible. You're going to make these poor kids work for their food.
Yeah.
And it's, these kids, I was helping one of the teachers at the school, not the high school, but an elementary school. At that school, they have a third grade class that is incubating eggs. And that teacher has a camera on the chicks 24 hours a day. And it's on YouTube. So you can go and watch these birds in the incubator through the night. She turns it off at 7:00 in the morning when she gets to school. And then she turns it on when she leaves. So you're not watching the kids, you're watching the birds. Mm-hmm. And then the 6th grade class is incubating birds, chickens, and turkeys. And that teacher sent home slips and had the parents okay it. And those kids were allowed to watch the birds, incubate the birds, watch them hatch, tend to them, watch them dry off and all of the whole process. And then they get to take the birds home with them. They were allowed between 2. They had to have at least 2 and then up to 5. And then there was
none.
Or none, right? I didn't have to take them, but there were not enough birds. There were people who were like, I would like 15, and I would like some, and I would like some, and I would like some. There were teachers there who were saying, if you have any extras, I can help you out and take them with me. And she's like, oh, they're all they're kind of gone. Mm-hmm. And so she had I said, well, you could technically, you know, since those have already come out of the brooder, you have a brooder empty, you could basically go ahead and do another batch. And then those people who were like, hey, I would like to have some more, bless them with more. You know, she was able to give one of our community members 16 birds and, you know, bless them, and they have kids, and so they get to, you know, do the whole thing for them. So raising them, seeing what it takes, you know, loving on them. The kids at the school were like in class holding the birds, you know, when they're, you know, sleeping in their hands and on their laps and during class. And they got to bond with them. And when I didn't get that, I mean, I went to school in Phoenix, you know, there was no, we didn't have anything like that. I was only there through middle school, so, or elementary school, sorry. So maybe they do that later. No, they don't. They're not allowed to have roosters in
yeah, but isn't there even something bigger?
Growing.
I mean, we live in an agricultural state, right? And these people, these kids that Joel's going to be talking to, are the future farmers of this county.
Yep.
And if we can, a third of them, 20% of them, make them rethink spraying glyphosate.
Mm.
If we can change that next generation of farming to be more regenerative, if we can do that, we're having huge impact.
Yeah.
We're benefiting all of us. You know, less of the bees will die, less of the, right? I mean, all of the things that go on, and we're creating more and more healthy food. Other schools will jump in if we can prove that we can do it, which, guys, there's no guarantee we'll be successful, but we're gonna swing.
And we're gonna help where we can.
Hey, RN, welcome in. RN said, hello all, looked for you and had a hard time finding you. Yeah, I think a lot of people did. Tonight it was really quiet until I pushed live. As you know, typically would be. Starla says, why no video? No video of what, Starla? Yeah, tell me, I'm not sure. Jesus said had a criminal justice professor in college that brought teddy bears on test day for people to hold while they took tests. Holding chicks in a class reminded me of that. Yeah. Yeah, super cool. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Anyway, so I'm excited. Let's go change the world. And
amen.
If we can play a tiny little part in that, I think that's just really, really cool.
Amen.
You know,
that teacher, by the way, was able to successfully rehome 50 birds to kids.
Yeah. So that the local teacher incubating eggs and raising eggs in her class rehomed how many?
50.
50 of them have been added to someone's
kids.
home somewhere.
To
her kids, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To students.
Yeah.
And so those parents now have a way possibly to receive eggs or
meat,
a flock, perhaps, or, you know, if they took the full 5 and they went home. And
do you know how many, like, what was the most one kid took? Do you know how many kids took some and how many kids didn't? I'd be interested in those numbers.
How many didn't take them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but she limited it to 5.
Yeah. I'd be curious how many participated in that. I mean, obviously that's a big number of birds. So
50.
Yeah. So that's at least 10 if she truly limited it to 5, which she probably didn't, but.
No, she did. She
truly limited it to 5. She didn't, like, all right, fine, you can have 8.
No, I think she did. Outside of the community member that she gave the 16 to.
Okay.
So technically, I guess it was 34 that she gave to. The others, the 16 went to different kids, and then the 34 went to.
It's exciting. It's super exciting. All right. Anyway, let's keep trucking, huh?
And those were chickens and turkeys.
Yeah, how cool is it to get a turkey? Don't forget, you guys, on the I guess for them, the 6th through the 11th, the Midwest Paradise Project is going on. Obviously, I will be at my farm that whole time, other than I may go out on Friday and Saturday, or just Friday or just Saturday, don't know yet. But anyway, there's lots of stuff going out there, lots of good speakers, Bear Independent, William Bond, our own very own Callie and Jesse, et cetera. And of course, Joel Salatin. He'll be there. I just want to remind you guys.
And lots of kids events.
Yep.
Kid friendly.
Yep. And I'd be out there more, but because I've got so much going on here at the farm, I'll probably just go out there maybe Friday and Saturday or something like that. And then don't forget the one I'm super excited about, July the 5th. We're going to do a Free Man Festival. We don't totally know what it's going to look like yet. We've got the live music and the professional fireworks. That stuff worked out, but there's much more information to come.
Right.
RN wants to know how your bees are doing.
I have no idea.
Yeah, geez, you haven't been over there a little while.
I need to get over there.
Yeah, you'll get over there. But
I was helping one of our friends had a swarm in his yard, and so he came over. I got a bee box or two, I think. No, yeah, I think there were two deeps, and the whole setup. Got it for him, and so he could take it home and try to get that swarm and get it in there. I gave him a little queen cage in case he found the queen, that he can just pop her in there and make it a little easier perhaps. But I thought that was awesome that he was able to find it and find a swarm, a free bees.
Yeah, Squatchy says, I lost one hive last week. They swarmed and left. Yep. And RN said, last year my garden had an abundance of bees. This year we have almost zero. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on with that. There's lots of news about a lot of the bees dying. And,
I really haven't seen a lot of bees.
I was over at your hives not long ago, and they were all had bees in them. They were coming in and out of the front at least, So don't you have 5 nukes coming?
Possibly.
Yeah.
No, not nukes, packages.
Okay, you have 5 packages of bees coming? Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. I'm excited about that.
Which would be so cool, because then I found somebody who was willing to help, and so then I can go over there with a friend and we can maybe take some of the load off.
Yeah. Those boxes are heavy, aren't they?
Well, just sometimes it's when they glue them together and you're trying to see in there, and the worst part is when the frames on the bottom box are glued to or stuck to the frames on the top box. And so when you're trying to lift the two together, you put your tool in there and you crack the box, but then it still won't come off. And so sometimes you have to go into each one of the frames and pop off each frame. It's hard to do when you're trying to lift and trying to get underneath it. So when you have somebody can lift and somebody can squat down and pop them all off. And then, well, if you got in there every 10 days, it wouldn't do that.
Yep.
Who has time for that?
Yeah. Pete says Loper got stung on the head today.
Ooh.
I was talking to them earlier before the live, just chatting back and forth in the chat. And so I just made the comment that Loper needs to be in the, dictators of, the book club calendar. And now that I know she's been stung on the head, we could give her a big old bump.
Why would you do that? A dictator bump?
Yeah, a dictator bump on her head. It'd be great, man. It'd be great. Gregory said 50% of our bees didn't make it this winter. Yeah, that's not good.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
Yeah, I had a big loss last year.
Yeah, let's see here. Eagle Lover, Texas. Put up a link. This is a link for Refuge Medical, and the benefits go to Caleb House. I'm not sure what that is, but happy to share it. Is the loss of bees related to chemtrails? I don't think they know yet, Bonnie. I've, like I said, I've read a couple articles of it, and they're just saying they're experiencing massive die-offs. Some of the theories are chemtrails, but I don't know. I don't know what's causing it. I think this is, again, I think most of that die-off, though, is going to be happening, commercially at that kind of level, If you take care of your own, you keep them shielded from overspray and those kind of things. I guess, I don't know. Well, guess what wouldn't help with chemtrails, would it? Northern Girl Hobby says, I'm on the list for nukes, but deciding against it for this year. There's too much going on, and it's a tad overwhelming. Yeah, I'm a little overwhelmed, too. If it makes you feel any better, Northern Girl Hobbies. I can feel it. Anyway, let's see here. So tell the story of the stove and why all of a sudden there's tile behind it.
So we got the stove all put together, and Joe came over and lit it, got it all lit all of the burners. We decided to turn on the oven, just crank it up, see if everything works. And I didn't know when I was cleaning, like underneath the griddle, there's a horseshoe shaped burner, I guess. And I saw all the holes in it, but I sprayed all the chemicals and I scrubbed. And so he had a really hard time lighting it because I think I got cleaner inside the holes. And so it it was like sputtering quite a bit before he got it fired up and going. So I used an excessive amount of cleaner, I think, on this stove. And like you can still see, I couldn't get the burnt off the back.
Why is it tiled?
Oh, well, anyway,
I ask a question and she goes like this. All right, I'm on track. I'm like, ooh, Lego. Lego, what's that over there?
It was a big process to clean this stove, let me tell you. It was filthy. But anyway, we lit it, got it all hot. And then Joe reached up on the wall and was like, woo, this wall is pretty hot. And so the wall got hot and Tag went, ooh, fire hazard. So he had people coming over this morning and he decided to leave them hanging, and he ran and got tile so that he could protect it from fire damage.
Yeah, and she's talking about the wall where that pot filler is. I just put tile on it so that behind the stove, because of how it vents and all that stuff. So we were just trying to
get it to not catch on fire.
Yeah, but the good news is the stove is in. And
so when you used it today to cook your cookies, did you pull it away from the stove?
No,
from the fire? Because it wasn't tiled yet.
Yes, it was.
Oh, you tiled it and then you made cookies? You didn't make the cookies.
No, I did eat the cookie dough though.
That does not surprise me.
Yeah.
But anyway, I like the square tiles. It looks nice. It's clean, easy to wipe down. Should be. But
Northern Glow Hobby says stove and tile looks gorgeous. I hope you wore a respirator for that stuff, B.
We did it outside. I made him take the door off and wheel that thing.
Hey, I want to welcome in Limit of Hardness. And I think what they're saying is they're in Australia, maybe, which is super cool. Is that Australia? It's a place I've always wanted to visit. I've never been to, but pretty cool. Anyway, Limit of Hardness.
Maybe it's just Austin.
Maybe it's Austin, Texas, maybe?
No, maybe his name's just Austin.
Yeah, but see how it said hi, I'm Aust. Then it said in instead of I. So hi. Anyway, I don't know, but you know.
Or it could be from Austin, Australia. Right?
Yeah. So anyway, good news is, let me get rid of that comment up there.
Oh, it is Austin. How are you, kid?
Oh, got it. Okay. I'm tracking. So anyway, stove's in. We get to cook on it, and maybe tomorrow, sometime during the day, you'll be making a burger, right? Who knows?
We don't know.
Yes.
But it is available.
Let's see here.
Well, all except for one burner because I don't have the regulator.
Yeah. Is there a balance percentage-wise of wasp bees and bumblebees? Have had what seems an imbalance. Wasps rule and are usually abundant and aggressive. Bumblebees are scant. Hello, all. Well, Juby Joe, welcome in. Hello. I think we have more honeybees than anything here, but it's because we have bees. But we have a fair amount of wasps and those kind of things.
We have mud daubers and we have paper wasps.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got going on for you guys. Started to hang some stuff on the wall. Look at that free man hat. That's I had another homestead gift that to me, and I think that's pretty cool. And then I got the hot water heater in. So not only
do we have water,
we have hot water, which is really, 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 really cool.
It is actually pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Matt says. Did the countertop sharpshooter and I pour come out all right? Yeah.
Yes, it's great.
Yep. I mean, they all got to be polished, and I'm not going to get to it before these events, but someday we'll do a whole big polishing job on all the countertops, which would be cool.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, for somebody. Julia, welcome in from DC. How is DC? I have a friend of mine who works for Stratcom who is in DC all the time, and talked to him today. Okay, let's see here. His name is Austin. He's in grade 3. I featured his family restaurant in a short. He teaches math. Well, Austin, welcome in. I think that is super, super, super exciting.
It's awesome.
Yeah, how cool. Well, I'm glad you're here. And thank you for clarifying Northernville Hobbies.
Yes, thank you.
Let's see what else here. Picnic tables. You guys know I was working on picnic tables. And so you guys know I did build a video of the process of building these. I just haven't posted it yet because, well, I just haven't had time. But I ended up building 3 of them. You can see right there.
And they're beautiful.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at how pretty they are.
Okay.
And it's all clean.
Yep. Wicked Good Bulldogs. Love that name. Welcome in. Yep. From the coast of Maine. Wow. That's another place. I've always wanted to go see the light towers up there, or they have light towers up there. Let's see here. James Bell. Hello from DeSoto. Well, hello, neighbor. Hope to meet you sometime.
Lighthouses?
Well, I'm assuming DeSoto, Kansas. If it's DeSoto, Kansas, then it would be a neighbor, but pretty cool. Let's see here. Howdy, Julia from Germantown. I did not see a Julia from Germantown. I must have missed it. If there's a Julia from Germantown in here, hello. I didn't see it though, but anyway, so
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe yeah, picnic tables. Yeah, they're gonna actually. That's where they're gonna do all of the herb starting. We'll be done on all those tables tomorrow, right? Probably. Yeah. So that's super, super cool. Grateful Hearts Ranch, welcome in. Good to see you. Yeah, James Bell says, yeah. Okay, cool. 22 acres. Pretty cool. You have, I guess, you didn't say it on the live. I was going to ask you questions about what you do. Do you have a farm? What's going on? But
Yes, I could.
my email address is super easy to find. It's in my YouTube channel. I'd love to chat more. Let's see here. Gorgeous and no doubt will survive the test of time. Well, actually, I'll tell you guys a funny story about surviving the test of time. Oh, Leela says we stand corrected. He's in 4th grade. Well, welcome 4th grade. Yeah. So anyway, this is a very easy picnic table, but B told me that when I had to build it, I had to build it what she calls fin proof. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I won't get into details what that means, but it means I got to build them strong. And so I did, and they're heavy.
Well, you're gonna have people sitting on them, kids climbing on them, tipping them over, jumping from one to one.
Yeah. Hey, Cheryl Seller, welcome in. Good to see you. So anyway, I hope to build 3 more, maybe, but it'll be a while because
not soon.
No, it took me probably 3 days to build those.
But I mean, they look nice right there. This really does. It turned out nice.
And we needed seating anyway. Right. Yeah. Skane's girl says, yeah, fin proof. Right. Packrat says that's what they call grunt proof in the military. Yeah. I built them all out of 4x4s. So I don't know what else I would do to make them tougher.
Decking.
Yeah. And the composite decking. Yeah.
So then glued it and screwed it. No, you doweled them.
James says, we'll see you at MPP. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll probably be out there Friday and Saturday. At least one of the days I'll be out there. But, make sure you come up and say hello. And I'd love to chit chat for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Skane's girl says, Finn's my little barefoot. Let's go find Bugs Buddy. He is. That is him. Yeah, dancing on the tables. I'd love to see some dancing on the tables. People are in that good a mood. That'd be great. Let's see here.
You think people should be dancing on the tables?
I don't care.
You think that'll hold people?
I will guarantee you that would hold people. Babe,
how many people?
I bet you those tables, not counting the benches, weigh 200 pounds a piece.
That doesn't mean that they can hold the people.
No, that helps. Looks like the furniture at Fort Robinson State Park in Nebraska. I've never been there. Yep. All right, cool.
Looks like park furniture. Good job, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was trying to make it again fin proof, which is a new thing around here, and I wanted to make it where the wind wouldn't blow them away, and those kind of things. Like the benches, they're heavy too. The wind's not just going to take them and blow them, which will be pretty exciting. But anyway, what else you got?
So Tag got off of jury duty. He had 4 attempts, and he skated past all of them.
I don't know how I skated past anything, just saying, but
you walked in there with your free man hat and they went Get that guy out of here.
Yeah, I didn't get chosen.
Don't call him.
Yeah, I didn't get chosen for any of it.
We got broccoli, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, all planted with the marigolds, onions, zinnias, 4 types of carrots, and we got the potatoes weeded and hayed. Not all the way. We need another hay bale over there. Got some other flowers planted. I'm not sure what they were, but I planted something over by the rhubarb, which the rhubarb has seeds on top of it. So I got to get to that. Baby.
You're so funny.
Babies.
I'm looking something up and she's
chick-
tapping me going, pay attention.
Pay attention.
Trying
what are
to.
you doing? Baby chicks in the brooder. I tried to count them.
How'd that work out?
I cannot count them. I tried forever to sit there and count them, but they just are scurrying, and it's if I could take them out of the brooder and put them into a box, I can count them, but while they're scurrying around like that, I cannot count them. But I think I have 12 chickens.
You think?
Yes. I have this one turkey. So I'm trying to grow the Narragansett turkeys, which are the gray, white, and black, kind of all over. And I'm keeping those ones that look like that. The silver ones that came out all slate, I gave away. The black one I gave away. I had one black one left because you and Yoda thought that it might be a male Narragansett, but I don't think so. I think it's not the Spanish black. I think it's the artisan black. So I have one more of those that I kept, but there is this one turkey who, and then 2, we've got 4 turkeys that actually turned out white with a brown head. So I'm not sure what those guys are going to look like, but it's definitely interesting to see all of the differences. You know, you have a specific mom and a specific dad, and it's like, what is this? So
It happens to humans all the time.
That's true. But there is this one gray turkey. His little feathers are starting to come in on his wings, and they're pitch black. So it's a gray turkey with black wings.
Hey, bye, Austin. It was good to see you. Good to meet you.
So I can't wait to see what they look like as they grow up.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that'll be. Yep, have a good weekend.
But I need more, because if I only have 12 chickens, I need to start getting working on incubating chickens. Helps too, because now the turkeys are now laying their eggs where I cannot find them. The spots that I did have them in, every time I would go and get the eggs, and I would leave a couple of chicken eggs in there to coax them back to the area, the dogs would go over there with me. And so the dogs would eventually go and get those 2 chicken eggs or guinea eggs or whatever, and take those eggs. And then the bird comes back to the nest, and then they don't want to use it because their eggs are all gone, and they come back and they're gone and they're gone and they're gone. And then they're like, forget it, I'll go find another place. And now I haven't found any. So I'm sure that there are eggs, nests, but I have not found them. I mean, I know what to kind of look for, but I just haven't found any.
What
new
else you got?
ones. Got evacuated off of the 4-wheeler, actually. I was had a friend that was coming in the gate, and the neighbor had 5 dogs out, and they were at the gate, at my gate, because my dogs were at my gate. And so they wanted to mingle. And my friend was like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to open the gate? And I'm like, no, I'm coming up. And so I get on the 4-wheeler and I go up towards the gate. And then my one dog starts running the fence line And so and then those dogs are running the fence line, the neighbor's dogs. And so I'm chasing them away from the fence or from the gate. And I'm headed towards like the long run of the fence. And my dog was like, oh, hey, there's somebody at the gate. And she like does a 180 and stops and heads back to the gate. And I'm like, no. And so I whip my four-wheeler around, and not my four-wheeler. Clearly, I don't know how to drive it. And it goes up on two wheels, and I'm like, no. So I throw myself off of it so it doesn't land on me, and I hit the ground, and it hurt. My leg is, I think I just kind of twisted it a little bit.
Jen wants to know if we can make ice cream in the community building. That's affirmative.
We should. Yes, we will. Yes, we do. We should.
What else you
got? Just the getting ready for Joel. We're getting ready for Joel, getting ready. And then it's like, stop. Community, getting ready for the community. We have a gathering tomorrow. So it's like, we're working on this event, and then it's like, whoa, time out, work on this event. And then it's like, you
were such a lucky girl.
We are, I am paddling like a, with a smile on my face.
Babe, we all paddle, with the challenge, and the goal should be to be the duck.
To be the duck?
Be graceful and calm on top and paddling like hell underneath.
Yep.
And
just let the water run all.
Yep.
Let the negativity
and run off. Yep. Just be the duck.
Crap. Just run off and keep paddling frantically underneath the water. The graceful moves on top.
Yeah, which is super good, right?
We all should be more like that, allowing ourselves to shed the shit.
Yep. Well, I think that's a good way to get out of here tonight. Because again, we got a million things to do, but just parting words. I think those were good words. Let it run off your back. Right. I think if we as humans, not just even in this life, but whatever your life is, wherever we lead, if we spend more energy on putting up walls, and we spend more energy on not compromising, and we spend more energy standing our ground because we just know that we're right. If we're spending more energy on that than we are loving each other, than we are on compromise, on finding, common ground, giving somebody the benefit of the doubt. If you spend more of your time on the negative side of that, you need to go look in the mirror and, figure out why that is. I promise to everybody in my community and my wife, I'll look for the good, and, I'll try to spend my days, trying to be productive. And I think that we can leave the live with, that note of, go try to be productive, but most importantly, love hard. It's just not, love is easy, guys. I tell you people this all the time on the live. That's the easiest of all things if you actually love. It's the hardest of all things if you're pretending. So let's just go be real and go love each other. And, we're recognize we're going to fail each other, and there's going to be faults.
Right.
It's just the way it is. And and
we're all human.
Yeah. And if you give me the grace to fail and to falter, I'll give you the grace to fail and to falter. And I think if we do that together, we do that collectively, we're going to be super, super strong. But guys, we got to get out of here. I'm headed right back down to the community building. I've got work to do. So I got to get back to it. And I'm sorry for the short live tonight, but we love you guys. We'll see you guys on Friday, and I'll get you a video out. Okay. Good night, everybody.
Hold the line.